Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm unboxing and rambling Descent Legends of the Dark. As usual, we got our coffee shot and all that, and we're ready to go ahead and dive into this one, because I've had this, I want to say since like last Black Friday. I want to say I've had this for like a year now, because I don't remember for sure, I can check my email history somewhere, but there was a sale at one point. Again, I want to say last year, because it certainly wasn't this holiday season, and it was a sales cycle, which means I think it was last year, and I saw this on sale at Game Nerds. For a reasonable price point, by the way. Game Nerds, great store, by the way. Highly recommend them. I use them for a bunch of my game needs. No, this is not a sponsored video, but I like Game Nerds a lot. And yeah, I ordered this because it was on sale for a great price point, and then a few days later on Amazon it was on sale for a cheaper price point, but that's neither here nor there. I got my copy, and it was basically close enough anyway. This is Descent Legends of the Dark. Descent Legends of the Dark is an OG dungeon crawler. This is the one that's been around for forever. They have Descent, they have Descent 2nd Edition, and then they have Descent Legends of the Dark. All of you giving you a dungeon crawler with a whole bunch of enemies and scenarios and things. One of them might have required a dungeon master running the game. I don't remember exactly. What I do know is I've never played it. I have played Imperial Assault, if that helps. I've played Imperial Assault, and I believe that's based very similarly on the Descent universe, on the Descent system, not universe, very different universe. But I only played it once, so I can't comment that heavily on the game. But this, let's go ahead and dive into this. I've never opened this box. I've seen the back of it. The back of it has all like the stuff you'd expect over here, the 3D terrain and all those things that look very cool. But as far as the actual game itself, what's inside of here, the box looks cool. But I don't know more than that. It has miniatures, it has a rulebook. We're going to, in fact, move this off to the side so we can go ahead and look through that rulebook. We have the Learn to Play, and we have the Lore Guide. And do we have anything else? We have, how much stuff do we have here? Wait, why do I feel like we should have more than this? We have a Lore Guide, we have, okay, here's what we got. We have Realms of Terrinoth, continue your adventure and explore the Realms of Terrinoth. Your quest just begun. Terrinoth, for those who don't know, by the way, is the world of, well, Fantasy Flight. They have their own world that has itself in a bunch of games, from Descent, from Runebound, from RuneScape, maybe? No, RuneScape's something different. From Runebound, from, they have the Terrinoth fighting card game. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but they have that by, like, the Sailor Brothers. But yeah, Terrinoth's their universe. They incorporate into a bunch of their games. We have our assembly guide for the terrain, it looks like, as well as, I mean, this looks cool enough. I'll use this, I'm sure, because I do want that terrain assembled. We have our assembly guide for the miniatures as well, in case you need to assemble your miniatures, which I'm sure you will need to at some point. We have our Learn to Play, but we don't seem to have a rules reference. Unless it's somewhere else in the box, we don't seem to have a rules reference. We have a lore guide, which is fun. This will give you some general lore on the game. Don't know much more about that. Talks about Terrinoth, gives you some background there. We have the elves, the humans. We have just the lore guide. I'll read this. This is light, quick, easy reading. No pressure to actually remember all the rules in here, because it's just lore, or just lore. Maybe it's more than that. Then we have Descent Legends of the Dark. We have the Learn to Play over here. We have the full, just Learn to Play. We have the app. We have the assembly, the rule structure. The app will guide you to a degree. I don't really know, not necessarily. I don't know how much it'll guide you versus how much you have to learn everything else here. Fundamental concepts. We have setup. We have hero attacks. So lots of this looks, I mean, the rules don't look that long. Comparatively speaking, compared to other experiences, the rules here do not look that long. You have winning and losing on page 16 already. We have damage and fatigue tests. I mean, there's definitely, I guess there is a lot here. Not that much, not compared to Gloomhaven, but definitely still, I mean, 30 pages of rules is still something. We have campaign rules. We have the rules spent in this section are not necessary to start playing the game. So up to page 25 to start playing the game, and everything else is extra, which I can take that. I can deal with 25 pages of rules. I've done far, far worse between Oathsworn, between Gloomhaven, between the 2 rulebooks of Oathsworn, between any number of different things. Lots of games out there, lots of rulebooks. Now I'm still missing the rules reference, and I wonder if that's hidden somewhere underneath these things here, because usually Gloomhaven has a rules reference, not Gloomhaven, wow. Usually Fantasy Flight has a Learn to Play and a rules reference, and for today we just have a Learn to Play, which either means the rules reference is gone, or it means they're relying on the app for that, which could well be. But we have miniatures. I'm going to go through the miniatures last. Everything will be timestamped, so check out all that stuff. This is interesting the way it's kind of layered, but either way, we're going to go through miniatures last. So again, timestamps to any relevant section. We have our little boxes over here, full of minis. These do look pretty good, honestly. They actually look very good. These actually look excellent. I mean, this game's been out for a while, but these minis, and again, I'll show you them, they look excellent, and I generally think that Fantasy Flight in the past has been subpar as far as miniatures go. Do we have anything else buried in this box? Is this a 2-part box? I don't understand how this works. Does this open up below? Does this come out? This does come out. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this whole box this is like dead air. This is, here we go. See this over here? this is what we have as far as this. A whole lot of dead air for, I guess, stuff that will go in here. Maybe expansions, maybe other things. I don't really know, honestly. But, I mean, we have the miniatures. We'll go through the miniatures shortly. We have the tiles. We have maybe for the assembled stuff. I don't really know. This is so weird to me. I guess this is... I'll take a look at that. We have our Gamegenic sample sleeve pack. This looks like a sample sleeve pack only, I'm guessing. There's only 8 sleeves here. So either it's a sample or we only need 8 sleeves. I am assuming it's a sample, but who knows. We have our dice over here. We have our tokens. We have our cards, our character boards. We still have no Learn to Play guide, so that's suspiciously lacking. We do have a standard, you know, Fantasy Flight quality miniature over here, insert over here. Fantasy Flight in general have, I mean, great company with a lot of great games. They've had their heyday, and now they're kind of in a downspin. Still a great company, just they used to be like the gaming company, and now they're kind of like, they have their lines. They have obviously Marvel Champions, they have Arkham Horror, they have Descent. They do well, but they do well with significantly less new stuff on the market. Their new stuff doesn't really last, or it doesn't really exist. I'm not entirely sure which one of those two. But they've always been known, whether they were a good company or not, when they were a good company, they're still a good company. When they were a better company. When they were a better company, they still had issues with their inserts not being the bestest. So, we have our 3D terrain over here. I'm not going to heavily go into like exactly how this plays out, because I don't know how you're going to build this or assemble this. But we have our general punch boards full of terrain, which I'll be dealing with shortly enough as I try to assemble it all, creating the 3D structure that your game is going to have. That's one of the things that's interesting. Again, going back to the back of the box, is it over here? Over here. So you can see, as far as the 3D terrain you're setting up, there's a lot of 3D-ness to everything going on here. How that plays out, don't really know. I don't really know what it does necessarily for you. Is it under here? I wonder if the rule Learn to Play is under here. I'm guessing it's not. Nope, nothing under here. This is empty. Anyways, back to this. So we have the tiles we're going through. We're still going through the rest of these. As far as, here, let's go through this like this. So, we have more, and more, and more. We got some gates over there. Some very potentially cool stuff, although lots of assembly and work required to get to where you want it to be. But again, very potentially cool once you do so. I'll be bagging up those various tokens, getting these little dials together, those trees, all these fun things, the dragon kind of statue thing, all cool things. That's what we have as far as the punch board, and yes, this is already falling out, which is good. This is punch board, it's supposed to fall out. But that's what we have as far as this, and we'll deal with all of this after it. This might be a short unboxing, or it might just be very miniature focused, because that box I didn't realize had that much dead air in it, which is shipping air, which is its own little conversation there. But anyways, we have our cards over here. We have Rallying Cry, Bracing Presence. After you defeat an enemy, you or an adjacent hero may discard 2 wounds. That's fun. Whirlwind. Something, attack an enemy, attack another enemy, then flip this card. Adaptive Tactics. 3, during your turn, flip one other card. Interesting. I don't know much about I don't know anything about this game. So again, I've played, the closest thing I know to knowing this game is you're going to have a dungeon. I believe it's app-driven as far as the enemies, so there's no, it's pure co-operative as opposed to 1 versus many, anything like that. And I do know that, again, it's loosely based. The original Descent 2nd Edition is very loosely similar to Star Wars Imperial Assault, which I've played. That's the extent of my knowledge into the workings of this game system. Past that, I'm just relying on the fact that it's well rated. It's rated very decently on Board Game Geek right now, and it's held on to that for a while. They actually recently announced the expansion to Descent Legends of the Dark, whatever next system they have coming. Here we have Mutation Potion. This is, double-sided. Different similar things. Consumable unique. Is it leveled up? During your attack, discard up to 3 conditions. Add 1 star for each condition discarded. After the attack, you are wounded. How do I tell if it's leveled up? What shows me? I can tell that this one's leveled up, but I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Because this one says 4 conditions, the other one says 3, but what tells me that side's more powerful? Invisibility Potion, during your turn, shift 2 until the end of this round. You cannot be the target of enemy activations. Bloodthirsty Bracers, during your attack, the enemy is already damaged. It suffers an additional 3 damage. That's fun. Brew Basket, at the start of each quest, gain 1 random consumable. Lots of stuff over here as far as just, here we got some equipment. We have the Wing Blade. Sword, elegant, high mount, slash, 3 damage, 2 after your attack or defense. You and adjacent hero may collectively move up to 2 spaces. I am assuming this is a currency of the game and not wounds at this point. At the start of your turn, you may discard any number of conditions from this card. Ancestral Blade, during your attack, add 1 for each of your leadership cards. Lots of, and these look like they're class-based as far as their actual cards themselves. They have 2 sides to it, anything different on the sides. We have 4 and 3 versus 4 and 2, so again, leveling up on the other side. Lots of card flipping. I do want this True Aim Crossbow. During your attack, reroll a die. Dual Power Crossbow, Elf Leaf Crossbow, Double-Headed Hammer, Hooked Hammer, Spiked Hammer, Mirror Blades. There's a lot of weapons. Bloodwood Bow, Blackroot Bow, Witch Hazel Bow. Lots of fun things as far as these equipment cards over here. And we're not done yet. We still have 1 more deck of cards to go through before we go through the enemy cards. These are just, I don't even know what these are, but we're going to ignore these for right now. We got our dice over here. We have 1 more deck of cards with more stuff in it. And then we'll be on to the miniatures. This is a far shorter unboxing than I thought it would be. We have Duskplate, Moonforge Plate, doing your and adjacent hero defense, add 1 health. Plate of the Bloodstone, Dawnwalker Plate. Again, everything flippable here on both sides. Add 2, add 1. So yeah, you can see everything's flipping, still giving you better stats, although you still can't tell just by, and you have to read the card. It's not clear if there's an upgraded side, you just have to read what's better. During your turn, shift 2 and prepare 1 card. During your turn, shift 4 and prepare 1 card. So again, same issue there. I wish, again, I don't know enough about the system to critique it that well yet, because I probably should read a rulebook before I do that. But I will say, it seems like these cards are all upgradable, but I really wish there was a clearly indicated, like even a star in the corner, even just like as you flip that, there's like a star on the side to show us the upgraded side, as opposed to having to read the card every time. So that's not the bestest, but also not the end of the world. Crimson Potion. During your turn, perform 1 additional action, then suffer 4 damage. Outs. That is a big deal. During your turn, perform an additional action, then suffer 3 damage. You may suffer an additional 3 damage to not discard this card. Wow. So if you have the right amount of damage to go through there, that can give you a lot of activations in the game. I'm very intrigued. I want to enjoy this game. I mean, I want to enjoy most games. I walk into most games wanting to enjoy them. Whether or not I do is a different story, but I walk in wanting to like this. Not all. Once in a while, there are some games where I'm kind of... There are games that I have in my collection that I have only to check off a list, so to speak. In fact, one of the things I'll be doing shortly is I'll be doing a full analysis of my entire unplayed games collection. And yes, it's a collection in of itself. And I'll be doing that. I'll be going on the channel. I'll be doing a full video. And part of that process is going to be anything I'm playing just to check off a list. I think I'm just going to skip it and just get rid of it entirely. I have too much of a backlog of unplayed games, despite doing my very best to keep on top of things. Like my very best. I played a new game every single day for the entire 2022, and I still could not keep ahead of the unplayed games. And so I have to make some harsh decisions, and a lot of it's going to be based around the fact that the games that I am looking to check off a list and get rid of, I think I'm getting rid of them. I'm expecting to get rid of like 20 or 30 games that I've never played and just say, you know what, I just don't think I'm the target audience for this game. And I think it's going to be a very hard choice, but the time has come for many of these things, and so it is what it is. Anyways, characters. Bryn, the Human Avenger. Let's see if we flip her. Do we have other things? We do. 3 and 10, 3 and 10. Outmaneuver, 1, 3. So we got this here. Is there any indicator telling us that she's leveled up? Nope, not really. Just hoping. You know, we got stats and things. Shift 3. Yes, we have steady defenses changed. Maybe they're different. Maybe the same. Again, I don't know because there's no system over here. So I don't know if they're 2 versions or an upgraded version. We have Varix, the Dragon Hybrid Outcast. We have Chance, the Hyrnix Rogue. We have Cirrus, the Human Prodigy. The art overall is okay, but honestly, not as compelling as I would like. It's okay. I don't mind the art, but it's not doing it for me either, as far as the art system. And I'm saying this as somebody who liked the cover of this, and I'm pretty sure I like the art of the original Descent, although I'm not certain. Now there's a part of me that's wondering whether I didn't actually realize what the art of the original Descent looked like. It's not bad. It just doesn't do it for me as much, at least not with the characters. I think with the weapons it was less of an issue. With the characters, it's not as compelling, I think. That's at least for me personally. Which brings us to these over here. So, miniature time. Much faster than I thought we'd get here, but we do have miniatures, so let's go ahead and go through these. These are honestly very, very good. So, let's go ahead and show you some of these over here. These are they're very good miniatures. Compared to what I'm used to seeing from Fantasy Flight, this is seriously a step up. I don't know how long their miniatures have been like this, but here, let's go ahead and show you. So, we have these characters over here, and you see how they have that little spot in the leg? Like, that's very cool. That's a nice touch as far as just like giving you that extra level of detail there. I like that kind of floating spot. It kind of reminds me of a Wild Ascent. If you played that or if you saw that, they had a miniature that also gives a kind of floating effect. Same basic idea. That's going to be these guys here. Now, we're not going to show you every single miniature. We're going to show you, well, as many as we can, but there are some duplicates or similar ones. We'll show you a bunch of stuff. We got some time. We have, like I said, it's shorter unboxing than I thought it would be. So, we have these guys over here. Again, just, you know, these are little, like, fire imps almost. I don't know for sure what they're meant to be, but they look very fire imps-ish. They look like they're mischievous and they look like they're on fire. That's enough for me to call them a fire imp. We have those. We have the heroes. Maybe we'll do the heroes. Well, we can't do them last because let's go ahead and pull one of these out from each side over here because it looks like we have only 2 sculpts on this particular. This guy, I want to get this guy out, but I don't want to break him. There we go. Got it. All right, so we got 2 of these over here. So we got this guy over here who looks, again, solid detail. We got a little fire, like not fire, a little staff with lamps or whatnot. Some skulls in the back. Look at those. Focus, focus. There we go. There we go. And then we got this guy over here as well, who looks very, very exhausted. He's had a very long day in the dungeon. Got 2 different blades. And again, the level of detail is very solid. I'm just very... Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm missing something. I could have sworn that I did not think of... Well, I could definitely tell you that for me I didn't think of it. But in my head, the Fantasy Flight makes decent miniatures, and that's it. Not descent miniatures, that's actually funny. But decent miniatures, and that's it. Give me a second while I try to figure out how to make this guy fit in here. I think it goes like that. There we go. Perfect, he's in now. I don't want to break him. Alright, let's do some heroes, because we'll have to do that guy later. We'll do some heroes now. So, these are all going to be the unique heroes we're going to go through. If I can pull this out without breaking them. I am worried about breaking them the way these are in, I'll say that. So, let's pull these out. One at a time. Going through each of these. And see what we can do. They're a little fragile at certain points. Like, something about this has me... I'm a drop more nervous to let my kids play with them. And if you're like, you let your kids play with miniatures, the answer is a firm yes, all the time. And they've very rarely actually caused any issues as far as they go. But look at that. Look at that guy pouched on the pillar. And I do like that, the terrain aspect. I like when you have a actual detailed terrain. Very much that's become more of the modern standard, and I like that. Little dwarf. I'm assuming she's a dwarf. I'd have to double check her card. But that's what we have over here. Yeah, I like the more modern standard of just detailed terrain bases. It adds a lot to the just the sheer way these things look. We have our warrior and our ranger. So here's our ranger first. And again, the terrain, very solid. The detail, very solid. We have our warrior. And she's just sitting there perched on the skulls or something. I don't even know what she's perched on. Perched on some sort of dead body, it looks like. As she sits there and just conquers the dungeon, bit by bit. And then we have two more of these larger miniatures. One with like a bit of a fire demon kind of thing. And then the giant staff of the whatever he is. I don't even know what class or whatever he is. But so we have this guy here. And again, just very solid all around. And then we have this guy over here. As far as that giant fire kind of thing. This is like very elementalist in nature. Pool of fire. Again, it looks very fragile. That's my only thing I'm concerned about. They feel weak. I'm not saying they are or aren't. I'm saying they feel weak to a way that like has me a drop nervous about these lines. Some of these lines, like the archer line, it could be wrong. And again, that's not. Don't be wrong. To be very clear, you should design a miniature not based around a bunch of kids playing with them. You should design them based around how good they could ideally be. But generally, I let my kids play with miniatures, except when I'm a little worried about the fragileness. And this like bow line, like I feel that's a disaster waiting to happen. But we'll find out. And by we'll find out, I don't mean they're playing with it. I mean I haven't decided yet, and we'll figure that out later. Then let's go ahead and do the dragon next over here, because the dragon's just sitting here waiting to be done. So let's go ahead and do this. If it'll come up, this should come up. There we go. Now this was in the kit as far as how to assemble it, but hopefully I can figure it out, because if I can't, we'll just have to reference the instructions. So this will go in here like so. That will go that particular angle. It looks like that. Uh-oh, I don't want to apply pressure, but this definitely the right angle. There we go. Perfect. And I think this might go in the box underneath. Don't break them, Alex. This will go over here behind like so. I don't know if it's meant to be assembled or disassembled or go in the box underneath, but this is going to go in the box underneath now because I guess you put all the assembled terrain in the box. That makes sense. That makes sense. Good job, Alex. There's like 14 comments down below who already caught that, but this is pretty cool. Again, solid detail. Solid detail across the board in this. Look at this guy. Look at him. That's pretty solid. Fits together nicely. It's going to go in the box, which means the insert is a little bit wasted, but look at him. Look at the level of detail on those wings. Like, if you're a painter, this is pretty fun. Let's put that in the box underneath where all the terrain will go. And this can go, I guess, in the box now, because I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to throw it out yet. I'll throw it out eventually, but not yet. And then this is where we're going to have the last of our miniatures. So let's go ahead and show you some of these. There's a lot of duplicate sculpts here, so we don't need to bring out a lot here, but we'll bring out what we can. Let's bring out this one and this one first. So we have our little warthog, these little demon hogs. So they're pretty cool. Look at this guy. This is no Pumbaa, but that is definitely intense. And we have these little guys as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into this. I'm a little intrigued about the app. I don't know, like maybe I play it solo, maybe I play it, I don't know. There's a lot of games to play, a lot of decisions to make as far as these go. But let's put this guy away over here, trying not to break it as usual. That's the first two down. Let's bring you one more of these and one of these. And I think we only have 2 more sculpts to go through after these. Just 6 sculpts in this particular box. Lots of repeats, which makes sense. They're hordes in the dungeon. We have this guy over here. Looks okay. Honestly, I should have saved that giant dragon thing for the end. Not dragon, though. Whatever that was. The big monster I should have saved for the end, because he definitely has the coolest gravitas. And we have 2 more over here. Now, from these 2, they do look cooler than some of the ones I showed. But let's go ahead and pull this out. This is where pulling these out is a little tricky. I'm trying to do so in a way that doesn't actually damage them. But we got 1, and we got 2. Nope, we got 1, and we got 2. Let's show you this one first, because this one, they're both cool, actually. They're both pretty cool. But let's go ahead and show you this. So we got this guy over here. Look at the haunted, empty shell of a face with the hangings of whatever on this like empty cloak. And then we have this guy over here, almost a wave rider kind of situation. Looks very cool. Could almost be a hero, except there's 4 of them, and it's the wrong color to be a hero. But he's got a crossbow in his hand, which make him a bit of a ranged character that could potentially deal some major damage to us, but ultimately that we'll find out. And that's what we have. That's what you get for this game. This was not a cheap game. The miniature quality is very cool, but not a cheap game. More affordable once you get it on sale, which you could get these on sale. That's the nice part. And also, like, everything's relative. Comparing to, like, a Kickstarter, you know, giant... Oops, let's toss that in here. Comparing that to a Kickstarter. Where did these go? This, I don't remember what went here where. I think this was supposed to go in there. Let's take this out, put this out over here, put this, and again, this has to be punched anyway, so it's not like it's going to stay here. We're going to toss these in here for right now. Toss that in there, toss this like here. I may just entirely get rid of this, but I guess if it fits in for now, I'll leave it in-ish, maybe. No. It just feels like it's supposed to go. Oh, there we go. There we go. This can fit in like that. Then we have our rules references with no learn to play, with no yes learn to play, no rules reference. This can go on top of there, and this can go on top here, and the rest will all go together when I assemble it. Which I'll have to do sooner rather than later, because I want to play this game. But that's it. That's your Descent Legends of the Dark unboxing. I'm curious. I'm very curious. I'm a little worried about an app-based game. I just don't know if it's going to be for me or not. App-based games, to me, there are some that have stuck around, like Destiny's has stuck around. There's lots that use an app kind of peripherally, like ISS Vanguard, Tainted Grail. There's games that kind of semi-use an app. Those I don't consider the same. Games that rely on an app historically have very rarely stuck around. Sometimes yes, but rarely. I'm curious to see how Descent will do. But in any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.